morning, interwebs. It is about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm about to go to bed. But I just wanted to check in with you because I realized I hadn't yet, in part because I was just having a kind of stressful day. I actually already filmed this whole little telling you about my day, but I decided it was a little rambly and a little potentially ranty, so I would try to boil it down for you and go a little brisker. So today, the thing that was kind of stressful was we had some company come for like an hour and a half this afternoon. My dad's cousin was visiting with her daughter and grandson. And so they came by to see us, and I have not seen these people in over 20 years. So they are obviously not people who I'm particularly close to, but my dad's cousin had obviously been in this house while she was growing up, which meant we got to do the obligatory family let's show people around Aunt Florence's house, which is now my house and is really frustrating when people don't just accept that it's my house. So we got to play the let's justify why things are in different locations game, because my uncle was here too and his friend, and so we got to kind of do the walk around thing, and I knew they were coming. This all kind of got arranged late last week, and I've been not looking forward to the fact people were coming to my house since that became a thing. Because number one, I'm not a huge fan of people in my house. Number two, I really don't like the whole people coming to visit, and yeah, the justification tour of the house, because it's the way it's gonna be. Especially since we own the house now, I don't feel bad decorating it to our taste or turning things to our liking, like using the door that we prefer, whether or not everybody in the world and the family agrees with it, or just having things set up in the way that works for us. When we were living here but did not own the house, I did feel like I kind of had to do things to appease people or to make them more comfortable, whether or not they actually spent hardly any time here. But now, all bets are kind of off, and I think that's fair. I mean, I think it sounds mean when I say it, kind of, but I still think it's fair. So, anyways, I knew these people were coming. It was stressing me out because I don't really like people in my house, and I really didn't want to show them the whole house. So Steve was immediately like, well, just close the doors and be like, it's kind of the way it is. So we closed the stair door, and actually the guest room door had been closed when they got here too, which was also nice. Like the cats were in there. Kuma had his usual there's new people in the house freak out for just a little bit, and then he calmed down. So it was fine. The cats were closed in there. But yes, they got to do their little parade around the downstairs and point out all the things we changed and question why things were changed, as, you know, they do. And even though everyone goes, oh, this is a great idea, that's a great idea, they still give me the skeptical, but you change is bad, you shouldn't have touched anything face that I get from everybody that is related to me and has previously been in this house. And yes, it bothers me, even though it shouldn't, but it does. But I think we're running out of people that I'm going to have that whole little walk around tour with. I think the only people that haven't been here that might have it are my sisters, and I think that they will probably be all right with the changes. So that was a thing. And then I made hummus with my son tonight because his Spider magazine, I think that was the one it was in. Anyways, I had a recipe for hummus he's wanted to make for a while, so him and I made hummus, and that was really good. We all ate that. And then Steve and I finished it while the kids were playing outside, testing out their new swing, which they are very much enjoying. Then we all watched Survivor, which we're kind of trying to get caught up on into real time, because then we can also watch The Amazing Race, which would be good. We all enjoy watching those kinds of shows together as a family. They're like the few network shows that we actually watch. And then kids went to bed after we read Landry News, which again, I'm still really enjoying. Andrew Clement's books apparently just make me really happy. And then Steve went to bed, and I have been working on trying to come up with future design projects. I worked some of my Afghan this afternoon. I was hanging out with Steve. I'm about a quarter of the way done, so that is happening. I'm making this one bigger, so it takes longer. So I've been kind of going through to make a list of other ideas, because there's a lot of ideas up here. I just need to start getting the ideas out so then I can somehow systematically work on them instead of just like willy-nilly like I kind of am right now, which will be good if I can get those, I don't know, sorted in some way. So working on that. And then this morning, Steve and I cleaned up a bunch of things around the house, not because we had people coming, because it was his day off. And so it was time to get some stuff done. He went through the big box of junk that I have in the old kitchen, and he organized it all out. So he took there were a bunch of spice jars in there, or jars. They were full of spices we dried from the garden. And so he sorted it out. So I have one of each jar up here, and he went and stored the rest with the other jarred items in the basement, which is where they should have ultimately ended up after they were dried and just hadn't. There's still some tea in there that I need to organize. I'll do that tomorrow. But cleaned off all of this. This had been piled full of stuff because I think I showed you yesterday, Steve installed my new rolly cabinet down here, which I love because I can open it and close it with my feet, because I'm really dexterous with my toes, which is weird, but it's a thing. And so those are my big like glass and metal pans. They're really easy to access, and we're gonna get another set of rolly shelves here. And we actually might be rearranging things just a little and putting 3 rolly shelves, but they're a bit of an investment, so that will be happening over time. And then over here, we're waiting to put the food mill and the sieve. They're going to go up on the wall, but the big shelf needs to go up first, which we bought the wood for. We bought the wood for the closet, and the closet wood is coming out here. So we bought that stuff at Menards the other day. I organized some of my appliances onto that shelf. And then we also I cleaned off everything that had been on this table, and I moved all the junk that had been there, added some more items to my random assortment of display things, which is kind of a mess, but I kind of love. Like, it's all just little things that make me smile, so they're all just kind of heaped there because it makes me smile. And cookbooks have moved over here to the linen cabinet thing, which turns out to be the perfect size for my cookbooks. So that was a happy accident. And the last decorative thing, the one up today that was really exciting, is we hung my jar. You may remember that at Christmas time, I did a Christmas craft show, and I bought that jar for myself, and I bought the gnome crossing sign that we have out in our yard for Steve. And the reason I'd gone over to that booth, they are a local like kind of machinist in the area that does these like laser cut metal objects, in addition to they do like welding and farm work too, but they have this whole kind of crafty component, and they're super local to us, which is awesome. But they like cut out the metal for that, and then she does this whole process of like acid washing the metal to make it look cool. So that's neat, and it matches our theme, which is all going to be canning and veggies and garden and that sort of thing. Though I think I might have found some fabric I liked at Joann's the other day to make some curtains or like Roman shades for in here. I'm just deciding for sure, but I've been thinking about the fabric more and how much I like it, so that might mean that it becomes a thing if it stays something I'm interested in, which totally means they're going to discontinue and get rid of all the fabric in like the next 2 weeks, because that's how that stuff works for me. So I think that is mostly what we did today. It wasn't a hugely busy day. It was just, like I say, it was stressful, and it was very much like Kendra-induced weird stress, like things that a normal person would not worry about, but stressed me out, because it, number one, involved a social situation of people in my space that I did not feel I had control of, because I kind of didn't, because it was kind of, it wasn't forced upon me, but it was not my idea, and it was not by my rules necessarily, which, control freaky as that may sound, like part of the reason I like being in my house is because it's a place that I control. I don't know. Anyways, I am headed to bed, and I will see you all tomorrow. Nighty night.